guys, today I'm gonna talk about why I ended up in a CX-5. Well, if you guys really know me, or basically my driving, the Evo Club driving WhatsApp chat, if you are in there, you will know CX-5 wasn't my first choice. And well, during my birthday, you guys know what I wanted for. Let me tell you about this. Previously, my target was a F10, and if you guys know I'm a fresh grad, then why consider a F10? Well, F10 is my dream car. So if you guys don't know, F10 is a BMW 5 Series, last generation, not the latest one, and not the facelift one. So back in 2010, when Malaysia first debuted the F10 523 and 535i, I was like blown away. Yes, back then this design, the F10 design was really attractive until it was facelifted. Then it goes further. So back then 523 and 535i cost 368,000 and 600,000 respectively. So well, after 10 years, these two car prices has gone well below 100k. So it has depreciated around, I would say, more than 85%. No, not more than 85, around 75%. So it's a good deal right now. But I didn't bother to get the non-facelift one because, and I'm pretty glad I didn't get don't even step into the F10, because the 523 was very slow. The 535 was powered with a N55. Is it N55? I think it's N55 3-liter inline-six twin scroll turbocharged, producing 320 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. So of course, if you are really into a car guy, then you will definitely go for the 535. But as a fresh grad, I'm not paying 2,000 plus road tax now. No way I'm paying a 2,000 plus road, unless in the future, probably when I start to get elder, I'll consider the 3-liter. But then still, if 3-liter is in my list, definitely I'll go for the 43 AMG. So that is another story. So before I get into this car, right, I went on car list and searched for. In fact, that time I was hunting a F30 because I know I couldn't stretch my budget further. So in early 2018, before I pursue my study I started to hunt for a F30. So that time was the non-facelift one. It still cost around 120 to 150,000. So 2 years later, the price went somewhere around 100,000, which my salary, of course, after I furthered my salary, my starting salary was pretty high for a fresh grad, but not as high as what you think lah, So decided to stretch further. So I pushed my budget to 150 to 160,000, because when you buy a used car, right, you need to spend some cash on touch up, refurbish, everything. That's applicable to all used car, but yeah, I think that's applicable for most used car, at least 10,000. So you need to spare some cash for refurbishment, everything. Then I even consider tinted tires. Yeah, so probably cost around 20,000 just before the down payment. Then later on, so that time I do some research. Then I decided not to go to second dealer. I think some of them are hanky-panky. So at that time I didn't trust second dealer as well. So later on I ended up with premium selection. If you guys really know what premium selection is, it's BMW authorized BMW pre-owned vehicle. So in premium selection, they not only sell BMW, they also sell Mercedes, Toyotas, Lexus, Volvo. That is basically a second-hand dealer, but it's more reputable second-hand dealer. So at that time, of course, when you go into BMW premium selection, of course you hunt for a BMW, right? So I started to look at, when I say 150,000 budget, right? You see, F30, I was looking into the facelift F30, but I was not keen into the F30 330e. So I'm not a hybrid guy because I heard many things about the battery. So it's a hit and miss thing. Some people, you know, don't have any issues till now. Some of them really suffered from the battery issue. So I decided no lah. So that time my only petrol engine option was 320i, 320d, and 330i. So at first I looked into the 330i. So 330i at that time was really costly. It cost around 180 to 90,000 during the early of this year. So I searched quite a lot until I saw one that is 150,000. Then I like, can I look for, because when you look into one car, right, you cannot just, you know, stick into it. You have gotta have, you know, backups, your first option, your second option, and third option. So the second option came in, the F10. And it's also a facelift one. So F10 was facelift at 2014. So I hunt for the 528i, 528i, 2-liter twin turbo, 245 horsepower. I think it's the N20 engine if I'm not wrong. Then 350 Newton meters of torque. Then I saw 140 plus. Then that time I a bit picky lah, all black interior. Then of course my first option is not a all black interior like the CX-5 has. Of course that time they have the milk, or you call the brown color interior. I prefer that. Then I keep on look into the pictures. Then I saw the leather here. You know, F10 and F30 suffers from the door handle and the plastic melt thingy, right? Yo, that one saw quite a few. So yeah, that time I knew that some of the owners didn't really take care of their car, but BMW, or should I say that time I hunt for, I think BMW premium selection also applicable to some dealers. So there are multiple dealers, say like Quill Automobile, Ingress Auto, Auto Bavaria, you know. So I look into Auto Bavaria KL. I followed some of the SA page. I think you know Nico Yap and Wallace. So I decided to go with Wallace because I have a conversation with him earlier in Auto Bavaria KL before. So look into the 520i, then feel like, can I stretch further? Go to the 528. Then I saw quite a few units of 528, but of course 2014 is already out of warranty, no free service, nothing. Okay, so I went back and looked into the 320D. Also, it's only on second-hand car dealer, not the BMW premium section. Then I go into the 320i. Fortunately, the same scene. Then I look into 528i, 520D, and 520i. So here's the interesting part, which is what I learned. Okay, this is what I learned. In 2014, when BMW Malaysia facelifted the 520D, right, they didn't change the engine, so it still uses the same diesel engine as the E90, which has 184 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque. Until 2016, when BMW Malaysia updated the 528i M Sport and the 520D M Sport, right, then they include the new engine, which has 188 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. So I decided, okay, that time I looked into the 2016 520D. Then it's a really hard time in searching this because, you know, Malaysians don't like diesel. Then no luck until one day I saw one 520i M Sport 2016. Then that time, look at the price, look at the mileage, blown away. I did have the plate number of that car, but I transformed that plate into my plate. You might be wondering how did I do so. I actually changed only one alphabet from the F10 into the CX-5. So I bought a new plate, but it's very close to the F10. Then why I put that into my car is because I have a, you know, when you go to hunt for a car, right? You will, when you're hunting for a car, right? You will feel that, oh, this is the right car. The bond that is created between your heart and the car, right, is totally unexpressible to using words. So that time was blown away and hooked up with the 520i. Then I didn't saw that car, you know. In fact, I didn't saw that car. I only saw that car back in last year. So it was stored in aircon room for like few months, around 4 months if I'm not wrong. Then I saw the condition of the car is damn good previously, until, you know, they sort of like repost this because it was hanging quite a long time. In fact, the condition is supremely good. But you may be wondering, oh, why this car was hanging there? Because it's a 520i anyway, so it's slow in a way. Then I call up my SA. I said, bro, you got this car, right? What is the process? Can I book this car? He said, in fact, that time someone already booked it. It's in the process of the loan, but later on he cancelled it. So I directly, boom, I go in, put in booking. I didn't saw that car that time. I just boom, put in the booking. That time was in Chinese New Year, I think second day of Chinese New Year. Then I just put in, apply the loan. Then fortunately, you know lah, my fresh grad salary, of course, kena reject one, I tell you. Okay lor. Then said need a guarantor. So I call up my parents. That time I didn't let my parents know because I know my parents wouldn't support me on BMWs. Then I was like, okay, let's do this. I be honest with my parents. Said, can you be a guarantor? Then said, what are you doing right now? Said, I put a booking on a F10. Then they were like, their face literally turned, I tell you. Then, no, this time it's screwed up already. Said, okay, I called up my SA. I said, you know, bro, I want to cancel my booking. So that time, you know, my heart literally sank because I was already bonded with the car, you know. The SA showed me the engine start, the mileage, the service record, everything. You can search it on the iDrive, but if you are not convinced, you can face-to-face talk with the SA. But I trust that SA, so yeah, it's a premium selection. So that car was having a 1 year warranty left and 1 year free service, or 40,000 kilometers, because it was only running at 60,000. So previously BMW offered 5 year free service and 100,000 kilometers 5 years or 100,000 kilometers free service, unlimited mileage warranty for 5 years. So that car was registered in 2017, but it was manufactured in 2016. So there was only 1 year warranty left, which actually to me is a peace of mind. Just enough, 1 year to let me recover from my financial everything. So that time, you know, when my loan was rejected, then I was keep on thinking, what is my second option? Because that time I was hooked into the F10 or F30. Then my SA called me, bro, you want 1 series? I was like, 1.5 small car. I previously had a Myvi. Then you asked me to sort of like upgrade to a BMW 1 series. No lah. And SmartTech hang. What is this joker doing? Okay, never mind. Let's stop. Then later on, I go into the X1. That was like, yo, X1 I tested quite a few times. It's not a bonding thing lah. The ride is so firm, the handling is so-so. Because the car is front-wheel drive. I think BMW switched the platform to front-wheel drive. Then many journalists say that no, it doesn't drive like BMW. Yes, and frank enough, when I tekan very hard in the corner, right, car just pushes. It doesn't flow. It feels like the old Passat B7 has that kind of behavior, or maybe Audi A4, something like that. So I was really looking into SUV that time. I was really looking into the SUV. So here's come my option. I think 150 plus thousand, you can buy you plenty of SUV. Yeah. Multiple options from the X70 to the CX-5 or CRV. But CX-5 and CRV got ditched for some reason. Because the X70 to me is slow, it's heavy, and yeah, X70 is slow to me really. Because I'm coming from a second generation Myvi, and you know that car is so-called supercar of Malaysia. So, well, it gets the name because fairly smooth, really smooth, that car compared to the new Myvi. That car is literally has the low end top, you know, and it feels effortless from 0 to 100. Then even in high speed, right, you can't, people say, oh, this car is really boaty, blah blah, but actually the handling is expected, you know, for car this size. So it's really agile. I was looking into something agile, so I go into the BMW stage, which actually F10 doesn't have that kind of feel, but the F30 is very sweet. It has a perfect balance between comfort and sporty, but it's of course one of the most not sporty 3 Series lah. So that time I said, you know what, let's go into the CX-5. Then that time I didn't even bother to look at the 2.0, because previously when my parents hunt for another car, we tested the 2.0. Then I feel like it doesn't reward the kind of effortless feeling, you know? So I immediately hopped on the 2.2. Immediately, the first 5 minutes I was blown away. The low end torque, the way it drives, the ride is firm nonetheless, but it's not to be firm as not pliant the type. It's firm, but because it transforms the everything on the road into the cabin, so you will feel slightly uncomfortable, but in fact it's comfortable to me lah. NVH is pretty good, yeah. Then most important, the car feels effortless even with heavy load, yeah. So I need this kind of feeling in my future car, which is this. So that time I started to build up some bond. Then of course, after the CX-5, the next option was the Passat Elegance, but that car costs 190,000. It's really beyond my budget. So back then CX-5 was like 175,000. It was also beyond my budget, but I told my mom like, Mom, my F10 was like 160 plus thousand. Then including insurance also 170. This one include my insurance, because I don't have NCD, so my insurance is pretty expensive. Then I was like, Mom, it was 10,000 or 20,000 more expensive than the BM. Then I was like, seriously? Then I said, don't worry, I put in Myvi, and I sold off the Myvi, and the balance I top up for you. You do not need to worry. What you need to worry is the monthly installment. Then I was like, no, because the monthly installment of the F10 that time, we calculated for the including the interest, everything, right, it was very close to the CX-5. So for the F10, of course, used car, you need to pay more on monthly installment because of the high interest rate. So I need to pay around 1,900 ringgit for the F10. Then for the CX-5, I paid around 1,008. Yes, to me difference is not much, but I'll tell you why I'm glad that I didn't get the F10 later on another story. But then why focus on this? Then I was like, let's focus on this lah. I was looking into that time Passat, they ditched the free service thingy, 5 years free service, 100,000 kilometers free service. So that time I was not into Passat Elegance. I said, you know, because of the reputation of VAG Group, right, Passat will definitely depreciate faster. So I was looking into the pre-owned, and given that the Passat Elegance was so new that time, I didn't even bother. So of course the Passat drives really well, to be honest, but I want something that has higher ride height. That time my second option must have a higher ride height, because my first option was a lower ride height car, so I didn't bother much. So later on I went into the CX-5. Then of course booking again, signing loan, applying loan, everything. Of course my mom were willing to be sort of my guarantor, but later on they discussed with the bank, no guarantor is needed. Because why guarantor on F10 is because a fresh grad driving a BMW was considered high risk as the bank. So yeah, if you buy new cars for a fresh grad, right, your loan will get approved easily back then. But if you get used car, something is hard lah. Then with the CX-5, I'm pretty glad I get this car. I'll tell you in another story why I didn't bother with the F10 later. So I think that's really sums up why I unintentionally come into the CX-5 or the Shark family. Yeah, I think that's all about the story that I want to share. And if you are watching till the end, thank you so much for supporting. And you guys, think the COVID-19 cases have been rising like hell. I think you guys gotta stay safe, man. Yeah, cheers guys, thank you very much.